color of the text, like this. Next, you can put the font size, and you can change the size. Let's put 18 and save. We can also change the font weight. So font weight dot bold, like this. But also you can put maybe normal if you prefer, or W129. So this is very thin and this is very bold. All right? But we will use the bold one instead, and that's it. You could also change many other arguments, for example, spacing letter, and it could be 10.0, but it's up to you. Okay, so let's keep it simple. Let's save. And now what we need to do is we need to put this inside a data, but we will do another file, and we'll say constants.dart. Because it could be interesting to have always the style of this saved at one place so we can reuse it everywhere inside the application. All right, so I will cut this text style. And then what we will do is we will go inside the file constant. So I'll cut this, we go inside constant, and we create a class. Let's create a class called kTextStyle. And this class kTextStyle, we'll open the bracket. Inside, what we'll do is we'll say static const, and then we will put text style. How do we call this one? We will call this the normal blue or normal teal text, or even title teal text is equal to the text field. And we need to create another one, but this one will just be maybe description text. Description text. For the description, we will remove the color, we will remove the bold, and we will keep only 16 as the font size. Okay, so we have two types, the title teal text and the description text. And inside this, we will change this for the kTextStyle dot title teal text, and the other one we will do the description text. Okay, so this is what we have done. We have used the text widget. Inside, we have used the text style widget in order to change it. And then we have saved everything inside a constant class, so we can reuse this anywhere inside our application, so our application look the same everywhere. So that's about it, and I see you in the next one. Bye. All right, first thing first, congratulations on being on this step of this course, because a lot of people will give up at the start. So the next thing I want to tell you is we have talked about the basic Flutter widget, some cool widget like the cart and stuff like this, but now let's go one step further and let's add animations inside our app. Because at the end, we don't want a garbage application like this. We want to have a great visual application. So we'll change all of this and make it look great by using Lottie files or Lottie animations. You can go on lottiefiles.com and you can search for an animation you would like to have inside your welcome page. Okay, you can write home, by example. Just make sure to click there and select free. And in this way, you just have the free one. Then you can click on, by example, this one. It will fit with the application, have the same color, teal and blue. And you can just say download. For me, I will not be able because I have already downloaded 10 files, but you will be able with the basic free plan or whatever it is called. So you will be able to download this. Otherwise, you can go on another website, Lottie files and stuff like this. You get the point. The next thing is I have already downloaded the JSON. It's right there. I can't download anymore, but anyway. And we will put this JSON inside the application. But how do you do this, right? How do you put a JSON file inside Flutter? For this, you will need to use the Lottie Flutter package, like this. So you go on pub.dev package Lottie, and you will use this one. So what I will do is I will go inside the installing, and the only thing you need to do is either run this or either add the Lottie automatically inside. So what I like to do, the fastest way, I think, is you just take the name of the package, Lottie, and you go inside the Visual Studio Code, you press Ctrl-Shift-P, and then you say add dependency, and you press enter. Okay? In this way, you can just put a Lottie, and you will see that inside my popspec.yalm, it will add the Lottie right under this one. Okay, so let's do this. Control P, add dependency, Lottie, enter. And you will see, boom, we have the Lottie. If you want, you can add it manually right there, or you can paste inside the terminal what I've shown you, this little thing. You can paste this. All right, so there are multiple ways, but this is the way I do it. All right, so now we should have access to the Lottie files. Let me just click this Flutter pub get, this little button. If you don't have it, just write inside the terminal Flutter pub get and press enter. Okay, it will do the same thing. We will save the file. I will close the popspec.yalm, and now we are ready to use our Lottie file inside our thing. So what you will do is you will create a file like this. I will delete mine. It was created too early, but you will go inside the asset, you will right click and you will say new folder. Inside this one, you will say Lotties, and then you will put your Lottie inside this one. So it is right there. I will put my welcome inside the Lotties. Okay, so now we have access to this Lottie. But we also need to use the package that we have added in the dependency, this one. So you will go inside, by example, and you will find, or just inside README, I think they will give you an example. Yeah, you just need to use this, Lottie, asset, and then you put your JSON. Pretty simple stuff. So I will copy this line. I will close everything, okay, because we don't need this anymore. And now we need to use this. So let's go inside the view, inside the page, inside the welcome page, and I will replace the hero widget with this thing, the Lottie.asset. I will say quick fix, and I will say import the package Lottie. All right, so now we have the import. We can delete this unused import, which was the hero widget. And then we will have an error. The reason is you need to go inside the popspec.yalm, and inside the popspec.yalm, you will see that under assets, we need to give the asset path for the Lotties. So I will paste under and I will say Lotties. And don't forget to put this, otherwise it will not work. So this will give you access to all the files inside the Lotties. Okay, so we will save this Flutter pub get, and then I will close the popspec. All right, so now we can just change the name for welcome and save. And now let's restart the application and see what happened. So you see that unable to load assets welcome. Yeah, it's because I need to put Lotties/welcome and save. Great. So this was the animation I downloaded earlier. It's not the home, but I think it's pretty cool. You can find it on Lottie files. I'm pretty sure this is where I found it, but it's up to you. Anyway, so this will be kind of our welcome page. Okay. So what we need to do next is maybe put the text under saying, you can put the name of your application. I will just put Flutter map. Another thing I would like to do is change the style. So we'll go inside the style and I will say text style. I will not use the K text style inside the constant, this thing, because this style will be a little bit weird. It will not be like standard title or description. So that's why I will not use this. So I will say text style, and inside the text style we'll say font weight dot bold, font size. The font size, maybe we can put 50.0, and then the letter spacing 50.0 again. Let's see what happened. Okay, so right now we have a problem with the visual of the application. I want to show you another widget that will help you fix things like this. So we will just stop this video, and in the next one I will show you the fitted box widget. You will see this one is pretty cool. So that's about it. See you in the next one. Bye. Okay, so let's talk about the fitted box widget. It's one of the most powerful widget that you can use, and not a lot of people is talking about it. So the fitted box widget, what it will do is it will take the text and make it fit to the screen. All right, simple as that. You can just wrap the text widget, right click, refactor, and then you will say wrap with a widget, and you use the fitted box. And now when you will save, you will see that the code automatically put all the text in the line and align with the phone. All right, you get what I mean. Anyway, so Another thing I want to show you is you can change maybe the font size for 500, and you will see that it will automatically adapt also. But when you do this, it will remove a little bit of spacing. So you need to adjust for something that you like. I think 50-50 seems pretty cool. That's fine for me. The next thing we'll do is we will add a simple sized box right under with a height of maybe 20.0 and comma save. Great, so now it looks better. We will put another button. This one will be a simple text button. So I think I will just copy this. Yep, copy and paste it right under. Replace filled button with the text button. And that's pretty cool. Both of them goes to the widget 3, but we will change this in further video for a login page or a register page. And we can just change this for login and get started. Get started. Okay, so this will be the register and this will be the login. Another thing we can do to make it look better is we can expand this text button to be all the width. And for this, you will need to go inside the filled button or any buttons, and you will need to change the style. So we'll say style. And if you remember to change the style of a button, you reuse the name. So filled button. This filled. We'll just remove this because it's kind of annoying. Perfect. Filled button. And you just need to filled button. I have some difficulty with my keyboard right now. So I will just copy paste. Fill button dot style from. And then you just need to put size, I think. Or minimum size. Yeah, minimum size. And you use the, if you go over, size widget. Like this. And the size widget just take a width and a height. So the width will be double.infinity. And can we put null for the height? No, we can't. So what we'll do is we'll put maybe 40.0 and comma save. And now this should work. So I will restart the application. It's a maximum size. It's a minimum size I want to use instead. So minimum size. And now let's save. Great. We'll do the same thing for the login. And that's about it for this video. So I will copy the style and I will paste it right over the child of the text button. Let's now save. And you can see that the text button is a little bit invisible, but when you press on it, you see it. You have the get started, you have the name, and this looks pretty cool. So what we can do in the next video is instead of going straight in the app, we will go to a register page or a login page. So that's about it. See you in the next one. Bye. Later inside this module, I will show you how to use a package that will save data locally. By example, when we restart the application, it's always going back to dark mode. So it could be nice to save this information locally on the phone. We will do this inside this module, but for now, I don't want to show you like package after package after package because it's a little bit overwhelming. All right. So what we'll do is I will show you a package like the Lottie package, and then we will modify a little bit the application to make it look good. And once in a while, I will show you a new package. By example, the one that will save the data locally. This one will be pretty cool, but that's it. So let's start right now and create another page. So you can see that when we log out and when we log in, we go directly inside the application, but it would be better to go inside a login page or a register page. Okay, so inside page, I will say new file, and I will say register page. Or login page. Let's put it as login page.dart. Okay, and then I will say import material, and then I will say stateless widget. This one will be called the login page. So inside this video, what we'll do is we create a login page. So when we click login, instead of going inside this one, we go in the login page, and then we put some information, and then we go inside the home. All right, so this is what we try to create right now. I will put a scaffold first with an app bar. The app bar will just have an app bar inside. Then I will put a body in order to be able to put a column widget. All right, so what I do is I know that I will put a padding over the column, but I prefer to write column first because when I do refactor with the padding, it will automatically put the information inside. But if you just put the widget padding, let me show you. If you just put padding, you will see that it doesn't fill everything automatically. So that's why I prefer to put column first and refactor, so it go faster. After this, so you have this thing, we will put this as maybe 10, and now let's go inside this page. From the welcome page, when we go, instead of going inside the widget 3, okay, which is the application, what we'll do instead is we will replace this for the login page, like this. So for now, both of them will go at the same place. You can remove the unused link, okay? And then let's restart. So we have this. When we click on Get Started, we go inside this login page. So that's pretty good. Next, what we'll do is we'll go inside this login page and modify the visual. So you can write children to put multiple widget inside. And then which one will we put? I think we will put just an image. We can put the hero widget that we had previously. Hero widget. Like this. But can we put something inside this one? I will restart just to see what happened. Get started. Perfect. We have this information. And let me restart again just to see if we have an error. No, it's good. So we could put the word login inside. So let's go inside hero widget. We will modify this. We will say this will take a required the title. And we'll say final string title. Oops, string title. So this just means that we will send the information via an argument, and we will have this information available for our widget, which we will wrap the entire hero widget. I will say refactor, wrap with a column. Why? Because I will replace column with stack. And now we are able to put some text over it. So we can say text. Yeah, let's put a simple text. Let's put inside the title. So title. And let's save. Now we just need to put the title inside the center. So what we will do is we will say alignment. What it is a wrap alignment. Alignments, simple alignment. Dot. And center, I think. So let's try this. We'll go inside the login page and we will add inside the hero widget. We'll add a title. The title will be login. Login. Perfect. And we'll go inside the home page and do the same thing. Title. The title will be, I don't know, Flutter map. It doesn't really matter for now, but now you can see that we have the login. Next, what we can do is we can make this look better. So let's go inside title. Let's go inside this. Change the style. Again, we will not use the text style from the constant because it will be a weird one. All right. So let's say text style. The font weight, maybe we can put font weight.bold. And then the font size will be maybe 50.0. Let's save. So now we have this. We can put the letter spacing. Letter spacing maybe 50.0 also. And wrap all of this text, refactor, wrap inside a fitted box. Fitted box. And let's save. Perfect. So that's kind of good. It's a little bit weird. So what we'll do is we'll change the color. We'll say colors dot maybe let's try black. Okay, that's not right. Let's try white. Colors dot white. White 30. Let's try this. All right, so we will go with something like this. It doesn't really matter because it's like a little different. So maybe 60. Yeah, that's good. That's enough good. After this, what we'll do is we will put the text field, two text field. We have some of them inside the settings. We can just copy paste one of them. So we have this drop down text field. So let's copy this text field. All right. So you had it inside your setting.page, setting page.dart. And I will close all the page, close all. Then we will go back inside the hero widget. And what we want is the text field. So instead of a hero, it will be a login page. Now inside the login page, we need the text field. So I paste it. And we need a controller. So this we will need to put a controller, text editing controller, controller is equal to a text editing controller, and that's it. Okay, now we will need to change this for a stateful widget refactor because I need to show you something else. So convert to a stateful widget. And now we need to use something called the dispose. But what is the dispose? I will explain you what it is inside the next video. So that's about it. See you in the next one. Bye. Okay, so what is the dispose? The dispose is part of the override that you can use inside a stateful widget. Don't make the confusion. You are not able to use them inside the stateless widget. They are not available, only in the stateful. So you have the dispose, and you have also the init state. Init state. You have a couple other of them, but the most used are these two ones. So the dispose will dispose the thing when you don't need the login page anymore. For example, when you change the page and you go in the home, you don't need the controller anymore, so you can just say controller.dispose. All right? So you don't need to save the information of the text forever inside the app. You can just dispose it. Next, in the init state, this will run when you start the page. For example, when you go inside the login page, this will trigger something. You can trigger some functions or stuff like this, and then it will build the entire thing, right? So what you could do is you could just say print and init state, put the semicolon, and now if I restart the application and I open the terminal or the debug console maybe, let's say get started, and you see init state. So this trigger right away. When you go inside the login page, it will be triggered once, it will run this information, and then it will go inside the build and rebuild the code only if you say set state. But when you say set state, it will not rebuild the init state, only the build. Okay, so this was a lot of information. If you want, you can rewatch this section of the video, okay, just to make sure you understand. And that's about it about the override. And just make sure that you have put the controller, the dispose, for your controller. We can also put the controller, I will cut it, and we can now put it inside this. Okay, so it will be close to the other. We can delete the init state because we don't need it, only the dispose. So that's about it, and I see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, so let's keep going on this UI design. So first thing first, what we will do is we will change a little bit the padding for 20. Like this, I will save, and we will add a sized box right there over the text field of height 20.0. And now let's save this. Okay, so we will change also the outline input border, and we'll use a border radius dot circular 20, maybe 15.0, like this. And the comma at the end, save. Perfect. So this look better. Another thing we can do is we don't know what is this text field. So it could be nice to have a hint. And this is what we'll do inside the input decoration maybe. So let's try int in text. Yes, it is. Perfect. So in text, and we just say email. Email and save. Great. Another thing we can do is the controller. We can copy this one, paste it under, and say email, and say password. And say same thing, controller, email, and password. Because you guessed it, we will do two text fields, and we need to separate the controller, otherwise it will be the same. So we need to say controller email, and do we need anything else? This seems good. We can copy this one and copy the size box also. Oops, size box and text field. Copy and paste it under. We will change the size box for 10 instead. And the text field, we will put password. And now let's save. Okay, so this seems pretty good. Now I will just restart to see what happened. Get started. And now you have the email, the password. you can enter the information. Maybe you will need some sort of button to say login. So let's add this button. We can put a field button. We can also copy the one from the welcome page. It will be faster. So just take the field button and copy this with the size box. Why not? Copy this and go back inside the login page. Inside the login page, you just paste all of this and you have your size box and you have your filled button. Great. So now you can just say login like this. And this seems good. The next thing you can do is, by example, the email. Or one thing I want to do also is inside the hero widget, I just want to change the visual. It looks a little bit weird. So I will say black 54 instead. It looked weird also. So white 10 maybe. I will also change the bold for normal. You can play with it, but for now I think we will keep something like this. And maybe 38. Let's save. This look already better, I think. Okay, so that seems good. I will change again for 30 instead, and this seems even better. Okay, the next thing is to write the email. So you see both controllers use the same thing. So I will go inside the login page. And inside the login, we will say controller email. This one, we change this for controller password. Great. So that is better. The next thing we need is when we press on login, we need to go inside the widget 3. All right. So for this, you would change the login page for widget 3. Here we go. And we can create even a logic to enter a real user or a real email and a real password. And only if you put those two things, you can go inside the login page. All right. So for now, it's not working, but we will fix all of this inside the next video with a logic coding challenge. That's it. See you in the next one. Bye. Okay, so let's create the logic to enter some information and click login. First thing first, we will change the fill button with the elevated button. So I've changed both of them, the style and the button, and let's save. I think this looked already better. And we will do the email. So how can we write this email? We can say, by example, let's go right after the class login page, extend this, right after the controllers, you can write string. I will click this, and you can say confirmed email is equal to 123, and then the string confirmed password goes to I don't know, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't really matter. Okay, these will be just the information to confirm if you have put the good information to go in the login page, right? So let's go inside this. So you can see that we have some sort of function that is triggered when you click the elevated button. So we will take all this function and we'll put it inside another one. So it will be like more visual of what happened when you click the elevated button. So let's cut all of this. And what I will do is I will say, let's create a function. So it's on login pressed like this. Okay. And now let's create this function. Usually what I'd like to do is right before the last one. So right there, you just click and you say, how do we call this? We call this a void on login pressed. We open the bracket, we create a function. So this is just a simple function that is used inside the elevated button, okay? And all of this is not inside the build. So you can see the build end right here and right here. So that is why we use it right there. After this, we will put the navigator and we'll create some sort of function. We will say if the context or the confirm email is equal to the controller email dot text or is equal, just to say if these are equal, then we will do the navigator like this. Oops. Then we'll do the navigator. Can I just move it? All right. So that's good. We can do another thing, the same thing, but with the password. So we can say, and if the confirmed password is equal to the confirmed controller password.text. Can we just put text? Why is it working? All right, so I don't know why text doesn't work. Getter text, define the type string, confirm password. Oh, it's because I controller password. Controller password. Perfect. All right, so this was pretty long, but right now, if you click login, nothing will happen. So let's restart the application entirely. I say get started, and then I say login, nothing happened. But if we press 1 through 3, and then 4, 5, 6, and say login, here you go inside the home page. Pretty damn cool. But later inside this course, or at the end of the course, you will understand that you can create your own authentication system. So you will either use your own database that you have, or you can use Firebase and stuff like this. But this is not like the good way to do it, because it's just like static inside the app. You will need to connect with your authentication system. But don't worry, I will show you everything that you need in order to connect with APIs and stuff like this. All right, so that's about it for this one. Let's log out and see if we can change one little thing. This seems pretty good. I will say maybe a button to come back. That could be interesting. So for the app bar, what we can say is, do we need a button to come back, actually? So yeah, we'll go inside the welcome page. And what we'll do is, you see we have a push replacement. But instead what we'll do is we'll just do a push. So I will take all of them, remove both of them, and save. So now when we go inside, we have the back button automatically. So let's get started, and you have the back button if you need, right? If you go and log in, you have it also. Great. Another thing we can do is, so you see that the login is only accessible if you put 1 through 3, 4, 5, 6, and then log in. And that's pretty cool. So as I told you, inside this section, we will talk about how to save the data locally. I will show you how to connect with an API and stuff like this. You will see this is a lot of information. But for now, that's about it. And I see you in the next video. Bye. Okay, so when you build an application, you need to take in consideration all the little things that can break your application. By example, if I turn the screen, you can see that this is not scrollable. So if someone have a very small screen, this might create a problem. So you need to wrap the padding of the welcome page, this entire body, refactor, and wrap it with a single child scroll view. Single child scroll view. And now let's save. Perfect. But another thing is this logo is pretty big. So we will put it maybe at 300 height. Let's go inside the Lottie asset. In the arguments, I will say height and maybe 400.0, and let's save. So this, I think, is already better. It's not really good for this orientation, but usually people take their phone like this, okay? So the goal is really to fix the big problems. So by example, if I go inside get started and I try to write something and I open the keyboard, so Command Shift K on Mac, and I start to write something, you see that we have a yellow bar. So we need to fix this also, okay? But first, let's fix this one. This one, now you see that it's not in the center anymore. You could try to do the main axis alignment, main axis size that minimum. I'm pretty sure this will not work. Yeah. So the reason is, right now we are telling the column is the minimum size and it's in the center, but it doesn't go in the center. The reason is the single child scroll view will start everything from the top because this will be scrollable. All right. So you cannot do it like this. What you can do instead, I will remove the minimum. What you can do instead is you can wrap the entire single child scroll view, refactor, wrap with a center widget. So now everything will be in the center. And if it's too big, for example, if I add another asset, you will see that it's still scrollable. All right. So that's good. I will remove the 2 assets, and that look pretty good. All right. And it's also scrollable now. So let's go inside the next page, get started inside the login page. We need to do the same thing. We need to make this scrollable first. So if I restart, this seems to be pretty high up. Get started. I think this was in the center also. Main axis alignment, that center. Okay. But the thing is, when you open the keyboard, you see that, when you open the keyboard, can I open it? Keyboard. Okay. When you open the keyboard, you have this error. So you need to make this over the body, refactor with a single child scroll view, and refactor again. So refactor with what was it? The center. Yeah. So let's save. Now everything is in the center, but when you start to write, you don't have this error because it's scrollable. All right. So that's pretty good. Another thing we can do is maybe we can remove the sized box. Do we have a size box over? We can put a size box at the bottom so it will look a little better. So let's put sized box with the height of maybe 50.0, comma at the end, and save. So this look a little bit better already. So that's good. So we have the get started, we have the login, and maybe we could have the register or something like this. Yeah, let's create this right now. So what we can do is in the login page, we can receive the information that we put inside this hero widget. So the login name. So we can say this would be a required, and it will be the, how do we call this? The title. Yeah, let's just call it title. And now we just need to create a final string title, which we can use inside our login page. But we have a problem. We need to say required this.title. Great. So now we have access to title when we send it from the welcome page. And we will just use it inside this. If you remember, when you are inside a stateful widget, you need to say widget.title. Like this. Okay? So that's good. Another thing we can do is go inside the welcome page. And inside this one, we'll send the information. So the title will be for when we click on this button, which is the get started, this would be register. And when we click on the other one, this will be login and save. So let's restart the application. And now when you click get started, you have register and you put your email, password, and login. We could change also this button name. So let's go inside the login page and we can change this one for widget.title. And let's save. Perfect. So now we can register or we can log in. But as you can see, both of them use the same confirmation email, which is just static. It's just the information stuck inside the application. So you will need to use some sort of server later. I will show you how to do all these API stuff and stuff like this. So that's pretty good. We can say login or we can say register. Both of them go to the same place. We have fixed the problem with the size. If we turn the screen, now this looks better. So that's good. That's good. Register. Okay. Register. We need to put the password 123. 123 and 456. And I want to show you another thing because this is pretty annoying to put every time. So in the controller, we will say text, and we will define this as 123. And we'll do the same thing for this one, text. And it will be 456. So now when you restart the application, every time you restart the app and you go inside get started, you will see that both of them will already be filled. So 123, 456. Right? So I can just click register and see if the application works. So right now the application is not working, bottom overflowed by this. Okay? So we need to go inside the welcome page. Is it no, it's a home page. And we need to put this column refactor wrap with a single child scroll view. Single child scroll view save. So now this is working. We can scroll and the rest is good. Done. I need to remove this in the profile. If we open, everything is fine. Perfect. So for now, we don't have any errors like this. So I will put back the application like it was. I think it's like this. Perfect. So that's about it for this video. I know this video was kind of boring, but at least you know how to handle things when the screen change and stuff like this. You create some sort of single child scroll view, and then you put everything in the center. All right. So our applications start to look pretty damn cool. I kind of like it. What we'll need to do though is inside this page, because right now this is pretty ugly. So we will change this in further video. That's about it for this one, and I see you in the next video. Bye. Okay, so we are soon ready to talk about how to save data locally on the phone. You remember this little button? Every time it starts its dark mode, it will be cool to have some sort of logic that saves the data locally about if it's white or dark mode. Okay? And we will do this in pretty soon, because we just need to change one thing for the UI. And the thing is in this video. I will show you what it is. When you click get started, it goes and use a push. Okay, so let's go inside welcome. You see that this will use a push. The push means that you can come back to the welcome page. But when we go inside the login page, okay, we are using, again, a push replacement. So it will replace, I have created some sort of visual for you. So right now, it goes inside the second page with a push. All right, so this is our application. And then what we do is we say push replacement with the widget 3. And the only thing we do is we replace this with this. But we still have a back image or back page called the welcome page. So when we click register, you see that we still have a back button to go back inside this page, which was the first page. Okay? So we will change this, and we will create a logic to take all of this, and whatever the number of page previously, we will say delete all of the page and then replace just one. So it will remove, and this first page will be replaced for the thing you want. Okay? So let me show you how to do this. Hopefully the little image was useful. And we can go inside the on login pressed. Okay? So this is when you press in the login page this button. Okay? It's this button. And we will replace this for push and remove until. Okay? The push and remove until will require a third thing, which is the Boolean do we need to stop before. Okay? In simple words. So I will say predictable, I will say control space, and I will use route with the arrow. For now, I will just say false, because right now the only thing we'll say is I want to delete everything and then replace this page with the welcome, the widget 3. Okay? But what we could do is we could say to the code, by example, if the route is equal to the route number 5 or whatever, okay, if you create a condition and it's true, then it will stop before. So by example, if we say, okay, we have a stack of 4 things, and we say if it's page 2, then stop. So instead of doing this, remove everything and replace the page 1 for something, it will stop. I will put everything back. Okay, what it will do instead, it will remove this, and if we say like page 2, it will remove this, and then it will replace this one with the number 4 or something. All right, I hope you get the point. So for now, we'll just say false, and because we say false, it will remove the one that is at the back. Okay, it will remove everything and replace it. Oof, this was complicated to explain. Maybe I could have simplified things, but I hope you understand with the image and stuff like this. Okay, so for now, if we just restart, you will see that when you click get started, register, now you don't have the back button because this is the only page available right now. So we can say profile, log out, and everything seems to work fine. So let's work on this little thing on the next video. This is called shared preference, and we will save the data with a package. We will save it locally. That's about it. See you in the next one. Bye. It's now time to learn how to save the data locally on the phone, and we will save it if it's dark or light mode. All right. For this, we will use shared preference, and you can go on this website, pub.dev/package/shared preference. And we will take this one. So we click on install and we take this share preference. I'll copy this, go inside the popspec.yalm and add it, Command Shift P, add dependency, share preference, and you should see it right there. All right. You can add it manually if you want. If you add it manually, just put this, click the little arrow, or run flutter pub get. Great. So now you should have access to this. I will save the file, close it. And what we need is to use shared preference. But I want to show you something. And this something is this little diagram. So we will use shared preference. We will save data using a Boolean. We will retrieve the data using the same Boolean, but we will only retrieve it when we start the application. And then we will use the value notifier to display if it's either dark or light mode. All right. So let's start with the shared preference. How you do this? You go inside README, and if you scroll down a little bit, you should find right there, preference set as bool. All right, so you set the value, you put a key to find the value back from the phone, and then you can use also this, the read data, so preference get boolean, and you put the same key. This will return you the boolean. All right, so anyway, I can talk all day, all night, but let's do it right now. So first thing first, we need to get the instance, right? So once you have the instance, you can use the pref. So we'll go inside the code, and where do we need this? We need this on the button. So the button is, did I add it inside the PubSec? Yeah, so it's added, that's fine. Inside the widget 3, we have the icon button. And this is where we will put the code. We will say final share preference. We need to import share preference, quick fix, and import share preference. You will see it's this one. And after this, we need to use the await. Await is just a way to say, okay, run this thing, but wait for this to finish before running the next line. All right. So it's just waiting for something. And in order to use await, you need to make the function, this thing, the yellow thing, you need to make this function know that you will wait for something. And in order to do this, you need to write async. Okay. So it's always together, await async. And when you wait for something, you always put the async before the curly bracket. Okay, so now we have access to pref, so we can save the data. We can go back inside Chrome, and we can say await set boolean. So we will save the value. Okay, and you can see that we are using await again, so the code will wait for this to run before running this thing. And we can use the same async, it doesn't matter. Great, so what will be the key? The key, let's create this one inside the constant, just to make sure. We can create one constant, one class called kConstant, and we open the curly bracket, and this one will be a, what do we call it? A static const, and it will be a string, and it will be key. How do we call this one? The set bool color, or is dark key. That's good. That's perfect. So we will call this one is dark key. Doesn't really matter because it will always use the same thing inside the phone to recover the data. Okay. So anyway, so we will use the kConstant dot is dark key, or it will be better to just put dark key. It will make more sense, or light mode key. Light mode, team mode key. Team mode key, and that's a little bit better. Perfect. So we can save, and now we can change this for is team mode, and we'll set this to the value that we receive. So, which is this value, all right? So I'll copy this, I will paste this, but we need to change the value first. All right, otherwise you will save the old value. So you need to take this and put it right there. So we change the value, and then we save the new value into the phone. So this should already work. Now the only thing we need to do is to retrieve the data. So we say final boolean this thing, copy this, and we go at the place where the application start, which is in the main. In the main, we have a stateful widget, which is good because we need to use the init state. So we'll use init state, and in the init state, what I like to do is just put one named function, okay? So I don't want to put a lot of code inside this. I want to see what will init step by step. Okay, I want to keep it simple. So for this, I will create a void for now, and it will be setup or init team mode is equal, or no, is not equal, is a function like this. And now you can just put this inside. You can just say init team mode. All right. So that's good. Another thing we can do is we can say preference. So because we are using pref again, we need to reuse the init, like this thing, the get instance, I mean. So we'll re-say get instance. We will use the shared preference as the library import, right? The await, we need a async. Now let's save. And now this seems pretty good. So when we retrieve the information, now we will need to retrieve with the same key. So the key was k constant, the team mode key. So that's good. We have the repeat, we have the information. Okay. And with this, we can set the value listenable builder, or how does it call this one? Let's go inside the notifier. Is dark mode notifier. So we close this. And then what we can say is dark mode notifier, the value is equal to repeat. And we have a problem. This value can be assigned to the value bool, try changing it. So we'll define a default value, which will be false. Okay, so let's try this. Let's try to figure out if it works. So we have the dark mode. Let's go inside, let's register, and now let's press light mode. Okay, restart the application, and it does not work. So what is the reason? Let's figure this out. So error. Unavailable, missing exception, implemented found on channel, Flutter, shared preference. Okay, so I think we need to reset shared preference. So I will start by closing the application. I will Flutter pub get just to make sure everything works. I will rerun the application, cancel. I will save again, verify that we have shared preference. I will go inside this and relaunch the application. Oh, I can't from there. And you go from main and start. So I will see you in the next video. Hopefully it will work. Otherwise, we'll fix the bug in the next video. That's it. See you in the next one. Bye. Okay, so now when I restart the application, you can see that the light mode is by default, which is great. So if we put dark mode, you will see that it is also working. All right, that is pretty cool because this is getting the information from the phone, saved on the phone, and use this in order to display either the dark or the light mode. Okay, but one mistake, a little mistake you can say, is when I restart the application in light mode, you will see that for half a second, we have the application in dark mode. Okay, it's not a big deal, okay, but I just want to explain you why it happened, and then we will move and work a little bit on the UI just to make it look a little bit better. All right, so let's log out. And the first thing I need to explain you why we have the black screen for half a second. The reason is very simple. The dark notifier value, if we go inside, it by default, it is true. So it is dark by default. And the init state will not wait to complete before running the build. Okay, so how the code will run is it will run the init state, it will run this, and then it will go inside and run all of this. But meanwhile, it is running all of this, it will still build and start building with the value false. Right? This was a lot of words, but let me show you. I will put some breakpoints at some places, and you will see what I mean. If we restart the application, you will see that it goes inside the init state first. If we keep going, we go inside the init team mode. Then we go inside the init team mode. But even though we have an await and we will wait for this to retrieve the information before going to the next line, this doesn't mean that it will wait in order to continue and build the application. So this should go, instead of this line, we should go directly into this line. But hopefully, yeah, okay. Imagine if it was not the case, how stupid I will look like. But anyway, so you have this, and now it starts to build, but it doesn't, the dark notifier is not changed yet. So let's keep going, and you will see that after, once we have retrieved the information, then we will change the is dark mode to the good value, the repeat value. So now when you press play, you will see that it's light. All right, so this was a lot of explanation for a little thing. But at least now you understand how init state work and build work a little bit more. Now let's change a little bit the visual. If we go inside the application, we register, a couple of things that we need to change. Okay, first thing first, this page looked pretty cool. I like this visual. This would be interesting to create a button instead. So we click inside and we go inside a page. Then we could create many things like this. Okay, so it look a little bit better, a little bit more full. And then inside the profile, we could create some sort of email, an image and stuff like this, just to make it look better. All right. And while we are doing this, you can pick up how I do it, like how my brain works, so you can copy this and create your own app faster. All right. I'm not sure if this makes sense, but anyway, so we will go inside the home, and first thing first, let's log out instead and change this button. So this button is kind of ugly in the white mode. So if we go in white mode, you will see what I mean. If we log out and register, you see that this elevated button is kind of weird. This thing is kind of weird also. So let's change both of them. So let's go inside the welcome page. Let's remove this annoying, I think it's this one. No, it's inside the login page. So inside the login page, what we can do is we can remove first the hero widget, like this. Let's see what happens if I do it. Okay, and now we can add a Lottie asset. You remember a while ago, we were talking about the home.json from the Lottie files? Well, I've downloaded because I think it looked cool. So we need to use it now. In the Lottie asset, I will just copy this line and I will paste it right inside the login page. Inside the login page, first we can remove the unused import. And I know it's unused because we can see the yellow color. And now we don't see it. And next, inside the scaffold, we need the column and we need to put the Lottie file. And now we need to import the Lottie package. So quick fix, import package Lottie, which is this one. And now it's working. But we need to change the welcome for the home because this was the one I liked. All right, I think it's a little bit better. All right, so the color doesn't really match, but it's not a big deal. So we go inside the register. I will change it maybe for a text button like this one, so it will be like less visible. Or we can use a filled button. I think we will go with the filled button. So filled button, let's save. Now I think this looks better. So you can see right now we have the get started and both of them goes inside the same login page. What we could do is we could create some sort of page when we get started just to see an onboarding instead of just going inside the same login page. So in the next video, I think we can do this or we can do it right now. Let's do it super fast, okay? So what I will do is I will copy the login. Instead, I will create a new page. I will say new page, onboarding.dart. And now let's copy the login page completely. And I will paste it inside the onboarding.dart. Great. Now let's change just the name. Or we can even replace, can we replace this? Yeah, we can replace this for a stateless widget instead. So right click, refactor. I'm not sure if it will work. No, it doesn't work. So we need to remove the overrides. So what you do is you take from the override to the next override, you delete all of this, and then you change this for stateless widget. Okay, so that's good. Now we are missing the controllers, but this doesn't matter because we don't need the text field anymore for this page. We can delete all of them, and we can just replace the widget for title instead, because now we are not using the stateful widget, but the stateless. So the stateless, you just put the same name, title. After this, the onLogin pressed, we can delete this, and we can go inside the onPress function and create some sort of navigation to go inside the login page this time. So let's go inside the welcome page, and I will scroll down. I will copy this navigation.push. So let's take all of this, copy, but instead of going inside the login page, I will go inside the onboarding page. Oh, I think I need to change the name. Yeah, we need to change the name of onboarding.dart for onboarding page. Oops. Oh my god. Onboarding page. Great. Let's change this also for onboarding page. Okay. So we can remove the unused import. And finally, I think we have something pretty good. If we go inside the welcome page, now we can say onboarding page. And the title, we require a title, but I will delete this. I will go inside onboarding page. And I will remove the title required and the final. So we don't need this. We can change this for anything else, by example, default. Just to see what happened in the screen. So when we click login, we go inside the login, which is good. But when we go and get started, we go inside the same page. So let's restart the application to see if it works. Get started. Okay, it's not working. So in the welcome page, let's change something. We have the login. Okay, so I did a mistake. Instead of using it inside this, we need to Control Z, keep the login page because this is the login. We need to change the register instead. Okay, so we need to change this for the onboarding page. Okay, the only thing I'm doing right now is I'm adding a page between the register and this welcome page. Okay, it's the only thing I do. So let's restart and click get started. Now you can see that we have an onboarding page first, which is cool. Okay, we can change this icon for something else. I will do this in the next video. Okay, but for now we can keep it. So we have this and we can just say, I don't know, skip for now. You just get the point of what I mean. So let's go inside the onboarding page, replace the default for next. And now let's save. We can add also some text. Let's remove this for Flutter map is the way to learn Flutter, period. That's it. Right? Simple like that. You put some sort of description. You can change the style for maybe a K-text style. The title, maybe we can try. Yeah, okay. Maybe description instead. And let's save. Okay, so something like this. We can also change the alignment, if I remember. Text align. Is it this one? Justify. I think justify is the good one. Yeah. Let's try this. So this justify take all the width of the screen, which is pretty good. Okay, so we have Flutter map, get started, login. When you get started, you have this little onboarding screen. You can change all of this if you want. It doesn't really matter. But what matters is when you press the filled button, you need to go inside the navigator.push of the login page. Okay, so quick fix. And then I will say import the library. And I replace this for register. And now let's save. So when we click on next, or we'll restart everything. When we click on next, you see that we go inside the login, the register page. All right. And when we go in the login, we go straight into the login page. Okay. These are the same page. It's just the name that changed. Okay. So that's about it. We have created an onboarding page. Very simple stuff. You can modify this to make it look better because we didn't pass a lot of time on this one. But anyway, this video has been already 10 minutes, which is crazy long. So what we will do in the next video is we will edit a little bit of this thing. And I really want you to understand how I work with Flutter, because this is how you will be able to build your own application or build things by yourself, okay? You have to, yeah, whatever. You understand what I mean? That's it. See you in the next one. Hey, bye-bye. Okay, so for this video, what we'll do is inside this onboarding page, we will just change this for another JSON. So I have downloaded hide.json. It's just a little welcome, so you don't have the same image like twice because it's kind of weird. So let's go inside the onboarding page and change this slotty asset for hide.json. And the hide.json was just a little welcome like this. I think it's pretty cool. All right, so welcome. Maybe we can put some sort of size between both of them. So let's cut this and put it right there, a size box. So now we have some sort of description and we have the welcome and we can say next. Pretty basics, but that's cool. So let's click on get started. We have the welcome and you say next. I think it's a better transition color-wise. All right, so that's good. We can now, maybe we can put some sort of text or anything, whatever. So that seems good. Another thing we can do is modify this. All right, so we need to add more buttons like this. So I will go inside the welcome page, and we can, it's not welcome page. First, I will close all of them, close all tabs so it's more organized. And then we go inside the home page. So let's go home page. And inside the home page, what I will do is I will add another container like this one. So this container, let's create a widget, a custom widget for this one. So inside widget, new file, and we will say container widget.dart or something like this. Yeah, it seems good. Container widget.dart and press enter. Okay, so now we can say import m and say stateless widget and call this the container widget.dart, container widget. Just like this. Let's go back inside the home page.dart. And then what we do is we take this entire thing and we cut it. And we say the container widget instead. Container widget. Great. And when you go inside container widget, you replace container for what we just cut, which was this entire thing. We just need to import the k-textile, so quick fix, and import this one. And inside this one, we need to remove the unused import. Great. So if we restart, you will see that nothing really changed. So get started, next, and register. Nothing really changed, but now we have this as a reusable widget. So now we can just go inside container, maybe change something. The title, we can put some sort of arguments. We say required this the title and required this the description. Now we just need to create the finals strings. So strings title and final string description. Great. And one tip I can give you in life is if you like coding and stuff like this, you should highly consider learning how to touch type. All right. It's just like you just write touch typing online, you practice. This is how I'm able to write. I don't write really quick, but it's not bad, you know. If you write and you have to look the keyboard, it's terrible. It will take a lot of time. So it's worth learning. It will take 1 month and that's it. Anyway, so let's put a title. Let's put a description. And now let's save. Let's go inside the home page. Okay. And add the 2 required arguments. Title will be, I forgot what it was, but it was a basic layout. And then the description was this is a description or whatever. All right. So now we have a reusable widget, which is the container widget. We can copy and paste right under to see what happened. The space is a little bit too much. So what we can do is we can go inside the container widget, and what we will do is we'll change the padding of the container, and we'll do only the top. Okay, so I will say I will replace the symmetrics for only, and I will say top like this, and now it does look better. Let's use the dark mode to see if everything look fine also. Maybe I can log out and see this home page. This looks really cool. I really like it in dark mode. Anyway, so that's good. Register. And now what we need is, we have 2 of them. Maybe we can add a third one. So let's go inside the home page and add a third one. And 4 and 5. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, I need to show you another widget because you will see this is pretty cool. And another thing, we can see that right now it is going behind. So we should have some sort of padding around the entire thing, but we don't need the padding in the vertical. So let's change this. We have the edge and set all. Exactly. So we will say symmetric instead, and we use the horizontal 20.0. Great. So now you see it look better. Okay. Let me put white mode. You can see better. So that's good. Let's talk about the other widget I want to show you, which is the list dot. Yeah, let's talk about it next time. See you next one. Bye-bye. Okay, so I was not supposed to talk about this one, but I think it's a good moment to talk about it. So let's just do it. One thing you can do with Flutter is you can say list dot generate. And this will generate a list of multiple same thing, right? So let me show you what I mean. I will click this. Now what I realize is I need to delete all of these, delete this one, cut it, and now maybe it will work. Generate. Great. So the length is just how many items you want to generate. We will say 5 for now. And the generator, you can delete and control space. You will see that this requires a function which have an index, right? So you'll say this will return the container widget. And you put your semicolon, just make sure everything is the same. And now you can see that we have some sort of error, all right? And the reason is, I will put my comma, the reason is the list that generate is a list of widget, okay? And right now the column is not it does require a list of widget, but not for one widget. So it's like you try to put one widget, and then you try to put 5 widgets in one go. It doesn't work. In order to fix this, you can either say column like this and use children and then replace the list for the list that generate. Okay? This could be one way to solve this. So let's cut and paste inside and save. So this will work. So if I restart, you will see that we have 5 items inside the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? We can put 3, so you see the difference, right? 3 items. That's cool. But the other way you can do it is you can just say 3 dots. And this is a little shortcut with Flutter. If you don't remember, it doesn't really matter, but you can use ... and this will say to Flutter that, okay, I want to add many widgets in one go inside this list. So I want to add a list inside a list, but yeah, my explanation is kind of garbage, but you understand what I mean. So now it does work. You are telling Flutter, I want to add many widgets inside this list. Okay, so it's a shortcut. If you remember, you remember. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter because the column does the job really well. The next thing you can do is we could create some sort of value that will have basic layout and other stuff. So let's go inside the constant. We can create another class, and this one will be k, I don't know, k value, or yeah, k value is equal to, or let's open the bracket. Oops, let's open the bracket. Can I open it? Come on. All right, perfect. So k value. The next thing you need to do is static. I completely forget what was the purpose. So let's go back inside the home.page. And yeah, the goal is to write some text. So basic layout will be the first one. Static, const, string, and basic layout. Basic layout is equal to basic layout. So you get the point of what I'm doing right now. I will do just 3 of them, or maybe 4. Let's do 4. And I will just say what we have learned inside this course. Maybe we could do that. So let's say, by example, basic layout, and then let's say clean UI, and then let's say fix bug, and stuff like this. And then we can say key concepts, and replace all of them. Key concepts, and then clean. Oh my god, it's terrible. Clean UI. And the last one, fix bugs. All right. That seems good. Enough is enough. So let's go back inside the home page and we can use these values instead. So you should do this for every data that you have. You should put all of them, like Flutter map, basic layout, this is a substitution. You should put all of them inside a file, constant, or something like this. It's not good to put random magic word and random magic number inside the code. But just because we are in a teaching style, I just want to go fast and don't waste your time. So that's about it. Anyway, so let's go and remove this and we'll say k value, if I remember, and it was, anyway, k concept. Okay, what we will do at this point is we will create a list. I will say list. We can even create it inside. It doesn't really matter. So I can say a list of strings. List of strings. I have difficulty with the keyboard right now. So list of string, and this will be called just a simple list. Let's create this list, and inside we will just put all the constants. So it was k value dot key concept, then k value dot let's use all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, replace, boom, clean UI, and then fix bug, and then basically out. Okay, and we can use the list. Instead of using 3, we will say list dot length. And now we will have 4 items, but we need to change the name also for the name that is inside the list. And you do this by using, instead of writing this, you will say list dot element at, and you put the index from the list.generate. And this will automatically target the 1, 2, 3, 4 and display the value. So that's about it. You could create some sort of button. You could wrap this with a gesture detector if you would like, in order to make it clickable and go in another page. But for this course, we will not touch these things anymore, I think, because it's all redundant. It's always the same thing. You have learned what it needs, right? So what we'll do instead is we will work on this one. We will create a gesture detector for this little button, the hero button, because we need to at least use the hero button, otherwise it's completely useless. So let's go inside the hero widget. We will change this for a gesture detector. So over the stack, refactor, gesture detector, wrap with a widget, gesture detector. Great. And now I will say on tap, and on tap will trigger a function, and the function will navigate into another page. So which page are we navigating to? It would be, we can say, let's create something new. I will say this dot, can I? Yeah, we can do it inside this video. We are at 7 minutes, 3 minutes left. Let's do it fast. So this dot next page. Okay, and I don't put required because this value will be able to be null if needed. So I would say this will be, for now I'll just say string, but I'm pretty sure it will not be a string. I think it will be a widget. So widget next page, like this. Okay, and now we need to tell Flutter that this can be null. And because it can be, I need to change this for the comma. And because this can be null now, then it works. We are not required to put the information, because if we don't put it, it will be null, right? So the next thing we need to do is to navigate. We don't want to, we don't really want to rewrite everything. Navigation, blah, 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 is super boring. So what I like to do is just copy one from the welcome. Work fast, not order. So copy this, and then you just replace this, save. And now the login page, what we'll do is we will return the next page, like this. But the thing is, we need to make this available only if we have a next page value, right? So what we can say is, we can say if the next page, if the next page is equal to, is not equal to null, is not equal to null, question mark. If it's not equal to null, then do the function. Otherwise, do nothing, null. Okay, so this, since we know that this will not be null, we can say that I'm sure that this will not be null, and it will work. So great, now we are able to use this as a button. Let's just do it in 1 minute. So when we click on it, what we want is, let's go inside the home page. We are using the hero widget, and we can replace and we can put the argument next page and create a page. For now, what we could do is we could just go inside the onboarding page and just save. So when you click on it, you go in the onboarding page. But that is not the best way to do it. So instead, what I will do is I will just copy a new page. I will say new page. I will say course.dart, course page.dart, like this. I will import material. And then what we can do is we can just copy a page. I will copy the home page. So I go in home page, copy all of this, Control C, go in the course page, copy all of this. Okay, so now we can remove a couple of things. The list will not be useful anymore. Then the lizard generate useless. We can delete this. The hero widget, we can remove the next page. So we just see the top of the widget. We just see the hero widget. And we delete all of this. Let's save, replace the name for course page. This video is very long, sorry for that. And now, this seems pretty good. So we can say this is a course instead. And save. Let's delete this. Home page. In the home page, what we'll do is instead we will redirect to the course page. So now inside this course page, we should have the hero widget, but with the text course. So if I click on it, it does work. But we have one problem, and is that we don't have any scaffold. Okay. So inside the first we remove the unusable import. Let's delete this. And next, let's go inside, which widget are we? Course page. And we can wrap all of this inside a simple scaffold. So cut, scaffold, app bar empty. The only reason I do this is to have the back button, body, and we paste the body, save. Now you can see that we have the back button. And when we click on it, you see the little animation, this widget doesn't move and doesn't even move. And I think it's pretty cool. It's because of the hero widget. All right. So that's good. What we can do next is, let's use the dark mode to see if this looks cool. I can click on it. Pretty cool. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. In the further video, we will be able to work a little bit on the profile page. But I think for now, this is pretty good. I hope you like this so far, and I see you in the next video. You will see this one is damn pretty cool. That's it. See you in the next one. Bye. Okay, so I told you I will show you something pretty cool, and this thing is how to change your Flutter app icon. Okay, because currently it's the Flutter logo, but we would like to have our own logo. So for this, what you will need to do is you will go on pub.dev and you will search for Flutter Launcher icon. First thing first, let's go in installing, and I will take this dependency and add it inside my code. So I will say Command Shift P, add dependency, and then you will paste it and press enter. Okay, so you will see it will appear right there in a while. So we'll save again. Let's save. It didn't work, so let's try again. Add dependency, paste, and press enter. So this should be inside. Perfect. So we have the Flutter Launcher icon. If you don't have the add dependency, you can just write the Flutter Launcher icon as usual. Next, you will run flutter pub get just to update the file and everything. So let's go back inside the code. And now the next thing you need to do is go inside README. And in README, you can scroll down and you will see that you have two options. You can either set up with a config file, which I prefer this one because it's faster. But if it doesn't work for you, you can either use this. So you will be able to put all of these information inside your pubspec.yum. So this file, right? But we will generate the thing inside this video because it's cooler and faster. So run the following command to create new config. So I will just say copy, and boom, we go inside the terminal. And where is the terminal? We can delete everything. Oh no, this is okay. So we have the terminal, and now I can paste dart run flutter launcher icon generate. So when we press enter, you should see that now you have this file, the flutter launcher icon.yum. Okay, but if it doesn't work for you, you can just enter all the information in the pubspec.yum like I told you. All right. So let's modify this thing. First thing first, macOS, Windows, and all this stuff. We don't need this. I will delete. Okay. If you need them, keep them. But for now, we will just use Android and iOS. Okay. If you want, you can create an image path Android and an image path iOS. But for now, what we'll do is we will just keep one image. So we keep it simple. The image won't be inside this file. Instead, it will be inside image, and it will be, let's add it right now. It will be logo.png, this one. Okay, I add it inside my project. And now, again, you just have to remember that if you create another file, you will need to go inside your pubspec.yum to add one, okay? This is working because we already have the asset image. Just keep this in mind. After this, inside the Flutter launcher icon, what we'll do is we will change the path, and it will be image, and then it will be logo.png. Great. So for the rest, we can keep everything, remove alpha channel. This is mandatory, you will see later. It's because iOS doesn't have any transparent logo. You can see there is no transparent logo, and this one is transparent. So it will automatically fill the transparency. Okay, so that's good. Next, we will save this file, Control S. We can close it, and then we can go inside the Flutter. We can go inside the terminal, actually. We will go back inside the website, if I'm able to find it. Perfect. And what we will do next is you will run Flutter pub-get and Dart run Flutter launcher icon. So let's copy this, go inside the terminal, and paste, and press enter. Great, so this will resolve everything. Flutter pub-get, launcher icon, create default icon, warning. You can see the warning, icon with alpha channel are not allowed in Apple Store. So that's why we have the, if we go back inside Flutter launcher icon, that's why we have this thing, remove alpha channel, true. Okay, so that's good. Everything seems pretty good. So what we'll do is, currently my application is closed. So I can close this also. My application is closed. So I don't have the application running in the background of the phone. So is it? So I will kill it if it was running. But anyway, we will relaunch the application, because if you keep the application launched and you do all of this and then nothing happened, it's because you have to close the application and relaunch it, okay? So I will say, I will go inside main.dart and I will click this little thing, boom, and I'm launching the application, okay? So if you go back inside the Flutter launcher icon, meanwhile, I want to show you a couple of things. So first thing first, the minimum Android, the minimum SDK Android, this is inside, if by example, you need to have this information and what it is inside your project, you can go inside Android and then Gradle, and then it is build Gradle. Is it this one? Is it build Gradle? Gradle. No, it's inside app and build Gradle. This one, because there is two build Gradle. There is one inside app and there is another one. So let's go inside app build Gradle, and you can see that we have the minimum SDK. And if you want, you could change this for 21 or something else. Okay, if later inside your Flutter journey you are required to do this, at least you will know where it is. Great, so that's good. Now let's close this and see our application. And now you can see that we have the Flutter launcher icon. That is pretty cool. But what we'll do, anyway, it's for the next video. That's it. See you in the next one. Bye. All right, so let's talk about how to create a circle avatar inside your app. And also what we'll do is we'll change the UI. Let's change the UI first, because there's a couple of things that is pretty ugly. So by example, the space